Representative Golez, Congresswoman Roman, Ambassador and Mrs. Christopher Thornley of Canada, honored veterans and family members, leaders of our veterans organizations, members of the armed forces, members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished guests, Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Thank you so much for joining us today to recognize and celebrate Veterans Day. This is the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. At this time, more than any other hour of any day, we honor and commemorate the unparalleled service and sacrifice of our veterans. For over 2 centuries, our countries have produced the finest men and women in uniform, and many are gathered here today, and many have lost their lives in battle. Our veterans are our liberators and our heroes. They are responsible for our freedom and the democracy we cherish. Today we honor those who answered the call to serve the United States when it was found necessary to take up arms and defend that which we hold dear. Among them are our service members in Iraq, Afghanistan, and other areas of conflict and instability who have chosen to be away from their loved ones in order to preserve our freedom. We owe our service members and veterans a debt of gratitude. Our debt to our veterans cannot be repaid with a mere hero's welcome home. We must also ensure that our veterans are well taken care of and have the opportunities for continuing education and disability and health benefits. The United States Department of Veterans Affairs has been in the Philippines since 1922. Next year, it celebrates 90 years of committed service to veterans in the Philippines. Our Veterans Affairs Office in Manila is the only VA office located overseas, a testament to the strong ties and still growing partnership between the United States and the Republic of the Philippines. This year alone, the VA's office served 15,000 veterans and their families and provided world-class health care and over $16 million in monthly benefits, upholding the sacred trust our nation has with its veterans. VA Manila will continue its grant programs to the Philippines Veterans Memorial Medical Center as further evidence of our commitment to all Filipino veterans and their families as our partners in peace. In the past 7 years, VA has donated over $6.5 million worth of medical equipment to the center to help Philippine veterans and their families. As we celebrate Veterans Day this year, we also celebrate the 60th anniversary of our Mutual Defense Treaty, which grew out of shared experiences in World War II. This treaty remains a cornerstone of our close relationship, an expression of our desire to continue working to ensure peace and security in the Asia-Pacific region. The Philippines is often the largest recipient of United States security assistance in the region through foreign military financing, international military education and training, and the National Defense Authorization Act. The United States has provided over $507 million in military grant assistance to the Philippines from 2001 to 2010. As we recognize and support the efforts of the Philippine Armed Forces to increase their maritime domain awareness and strengthen their ability to provide for the territorial defense of the Philippines, The United States has provided radars as part of our Coast Watch system, and just recently, the transfer of a Hamilton-class U.S. Coast Guard cutter to the Philippine Navy. As I stand before you, however, I do not think our commitment should be measured primarily by money or equipment. When I look at the face of you veterans today, and when I look at the thousands of white grave markers around us, I recall the moving accounts that I have read and heard of soldiers fighting together here and abroad for shared values. When I look around today, I also think of the families of those who gave their lives. Like the son of U.S. Army Private Robert L. Gee, who is here today visiting his father's grave 66 years after his father was killed in action in Batangas. Mr. Gee, will you please stand up? Thank you so much, sir. And we still thank your father. I often think of my father and my uncle, Sergeant Harry Thomas and Sergeant Julius Boyd, who served here after World War II. Uncle Julius fondly recalled being adopted by a Filipino family. It's a testament to the kind treatment Filipinos always show to strangers. When I tour visiting U.S. ships, I meet many Filipino Americans serving in our Navy. When I see the camaraderie that continues to develop between our service members during our exercises and training, the unique qualities of the Philippine-American Alliance stand out. It is an alliance that has renewed our strength and energy as every generation recalls the service of the last and strives to uplift our forefathers' standards. Ours is an alliance that reflects our country's close ties and shared history. It is an alliance that has endured for decades and will last for centuries more. Today, as our nation continues the struggle for freedom, we continue to honor and be united to celebrate our veterans. The commemorations of our veterans does not cease today. In the words of the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, every day is Veterans Day. Each day we honor your courage, your sacrifice, and your commitment to our country, and to the shared partnership between our two great nations. Mabuhay.